So you know that feeling? You have this like perfect home theater setup, all planned out in your head.
Right,
You've
right.
got the projector mounted, the speakers are all hidden, but then, ah, you hit that physical wall, the reality of the room.
Right.
Your cable box, your PC, whatever, it's 50 feet away from the screen.
The classic long-distance relationship problem for your gear. It's the absolute killer of a clean AV setup.
And that is exactly what we are getting into today. We are looking at a piece of kit from HDTV Supply.
Okay.
It's the WolfPack 4K 30 Hz HDMI receiver over HDBaseT. It's about $200, and it claims to be the bridge that, standard HDMI cables just can't build.
Right, because if you've ever tried running a standard HDMI cable more than, say, 25, maybe 30 feet, you know what happens.
Oh, yeah, sparkles, dropout.
Sparkles, signal dropouts, or just a black screen. This WolfPack unit uses HDBaseT technology to completely bypass that problem.
So, okay, for anyone listening who hears HDBaseT and their eyes just kind of glaze over, this is basically a professional shortcut, right?
That's a great way to put it.
It stops trying to shove video over a fat HDMI cord and switches to something we all have in our walls. Ethernet cable.
That's the core of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes that massive HDMI signal, the video, audio, all the control signals, and it converts it so it can travel over standard CT6 or CC7 cable. It's so much cheaper and way, way easier to run through a wall.
But let's get into the specs, because easier usually means there's a trade-off in quality somewhere. This receiver says it can handle 1080p at full 4.4.4 color space.
And it does. At 1080p, you can run this thing up to 220 feet. That's 70 meters.
70 meters, that is massive.
It is. You can put your Blu-ray player in a totally different wing of the house.
But physics always wins, right? If I want 4K resolution, I'm assuming I lose some of that distance.
You do. If you bump that signal up to 4K at 30 hertz, your range gets cut in half to about 110 feet.
Still, 110 feet that covers almost any home setup and most commercial ones, I think.
For sure.
Now, there's a catch with this specific model, the HBD THD70R70R. Late E, the R is important. Stands for receiver.
Yes.
Crucial point. This is just the catcher's mitt.
Right.
You can't just plug your cable box directly into this. You absolutely need a compatible HDBaseT transmitter or a matrix switcher on the other end to, throw the ball.
So if you just buy this one box...
You've got a $200 paperweight.
Okay, got it. So assuming we have the full setup, the transmitter and the receiver, my big worry with converting a signal, sending it 200 feet down an internet cable and converting it back, is lag.
The lip sync issue, yeah, that's the usual fear.
Are we going to see that?
Not with this. HDBaseT is uncompressed. The specs on this WolfPack unit are just wild. They claim less than 7 microseconds of latency.
7 microseconds. That's, what is that, 7 millionths of a second?
It's 0.0000007 seconds. I mean, to put that in perspective, imagine you're in a huge church or an auditorium.
Okay.
If there was even a tiny bit of lag, the sound from the speakers would hit the audience before the video of the person's lips moving. It would look like a badly dubbed movie.
Right. With 7 microseconds, that drift is mathematically impossible for a human to see.
So it's fast enough for live events, which means it's definitely fast enough for my Xbox. And it's carrying high-end audio, too. It's not like stripping out the surround sound.
Nope. Passes everything through. 7.1, DTS Master HD, Dolby True HD. The pipe is big enough for all of it.
Okay, but this is where we have to stop and warn the DIY crowd. Because I was reading the manual, and they have some very aggressive warnings in there about how you wire this.
This is where 90% of installations fail. I'm not kidding.
It says explicitly NO EZ45 connectors.
It bans them, yes.
Those are the pass-through ones, right? Where the little wires stick out the front so you can check the color order. I use those all the time.
For standard internet, they're great. For HDBaseT, they are poison.
Why? What's the problem?
The way the connector leaves those little copper tips exposed at the end, it creates crosstalk and noise that just destroys the high-frequency video signal. You simply cannot use them, period.
And it goes beyond just the connectors. They seem almost paranoid about interference in general.
With very good reason. You're pushing a massive amount of data over these thin copper wires. If you run an unshielded cable next to, say, a microwave or a fluorescent light or high voltage lines,
you get EMI.
You get electromagnetic interference, exactly. And on your screen, that looks like random video flashes or the signal just dropping out completely.
So the big takeaway is you have to use shielded Cat6a cable, use high-quality metal connectors, and make sure the whole system is grounded properly.
If you treat the cable like a precision instrument, the system is bulletproof.
Yeah.
If you treat it like a generic patch cord you found in a drawer, it's just not going to work.
Before we wrap up, there's one more feature I want to hit on, CEC support.
Consumer electronics control. It's huge. A huge quality of life feature.
What does that actually mean for the user?
It means the remote control signals travel down that same Ethernet cable. So you can point your TV remote at the screen in the bedroom, and it will control the cable box that's in a rack in the basement, 100 feet away.
So it makes the distance totally invisible.
That's the whole goal.
So here's the bottom line then. The WolfPack receiver gets you professional-grade distance, 220 feet, and virtually zero latency, but only if you respect the physics of the cabling.
It connects the dots, but you have to build a really solid line for it to work.
It really makes you think, you know? We spend thousands on the screen and the speakers, the stuff we see.
The big flashy stuff.
Yeah, but the entire experience actually hinges on, like, a $2 metal connector hidden inside the wall.
It's always the invisible infrastructure that makes or breaks the magic.